Good evening. I would like to call to order the December 17th, 2025 meeting of the Code Enforcement Review Board. Welcome to all in attendance, my fellow commissioners, township staff, and residents. Just a friendly reminder to those present to please silence your electronic devices. Julia, could we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Baldwin.
Here.
Ms. Ferris.
Here.
Mr. Henson.
Here.
Mr. Schaefer.
Here.
Ms. Westphal.
Here. Could we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The Code Enforcement Review Board was established to provide an impartial and fair platform for reviewing disputes related to vacant properties and rental registrations within Colerain Township. CURB is a volunteer advisory committee to the Township Board of Trustees. CURB's primary objective is to hear, consider testimony, and evidence presented by property owners and residents, interpret the township's resolutions related to vacant buildings and rental registrations, and issue recommendations regarding these issues to the Board of Trustees. This process ensures property owners and residents have an opportunity to address any concerns and resolve any disputes regarding vacant properties and rental registrations in a transparent and respectful manner. Before us are the meeting minutes from our November 19th meeting. Do we have any comments or corrections?
Yes, I have a question. For SERB 2593, it says that the staff recommendation is that it is in fact a rental property. Shall we view it as such? My notes say that we agreed with that to declare it, the board agreed with that to declare it a rental property. But the minutes say Member Henson made a motion to accept staff recommendations to take no further action. Actually, we did take an action and say that it is a rental property. But the minutes say to take no further action. Am I misinterpreting something, or?
I believe, and I can verify I believe, and I can double check real quick, but I believe the owner of that property registered and paid the fee prior to the meeting.
Okay.
Which one are we talking
93?
It's 10377 Pippin Lane. Yes, they did register and paid their fee prior to the meeting.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any other corrections?
I have none.
Could we have a motion?
Make a motion, we accept the November minutes as written.
I'll second that.
Ms. Baldwin.
Yes.
Ms. Ferris.
Yes.
Mr. Henson.
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer.
Yes.
Ms. Westphal.
Yes. The first item under new business is CURB 25-101 and 102. Nick?
Right. And for curb 25-101 and 102, this is two separate cases. one for not paying their registration fee on their initial registration, and one for not renewing their rental registration this year. The owner of record is Trinity Realty Solutions LLC. Their initial registration is under an OpenGov case titled Rent-24-224. Our initial letters were sent on June 30th of 2023. A follow-up letter was sent February 9th of 24. And then the final notice for tonight's meeting was sent standard and certified mail on November 26th of this year, giving tonight as the meeting date. The final mail was sent certified and standard to both the owner and the registered agent. The certified mail is being returned to sender. And the first two letters were standard form letters that were sent to all properties initially believed to be rentals. We do believe it is a rental, as it was registered by the registered agent in 2024 with no payment received. We did have some communication through the online registration system indicating that a payment would be made. The owner and registered agent failed to register in 2025. They do have a completed Hamilton County rental registration. The owner's address does differ from the property address. In your packet, you will see a screenshot or a image from the Hamilton County auditor showing that they do have a rental registration. The certified mail tracking is also on that page. Then you will see their completed Hamilton County rental registration, where they do have multiple properties. You will see the business details page from the Ohio Secretary of State indicating who the registered agent is. Then you will see copies of all the letters that we sent. You will also see the certified mail delivery confirmation. It does look like one was delivered, the other one was not. There is a screenshot from OpenGov showing, where they have communicated some, stating that they would make the payment and then never followed through. The bottom picture just kind of shows the payment screen, showing that they have yet to pay. At this time, our recommendation is that for Curb-25-101, we recommend that the payment be made within 7 days. If payment is not received, all registration fees, late fees, and administrative fees be assessed to the property taxes. And in regard to Curb-25-102, we recommend the property be registered for 2025 within 7 days and pay all required fees, including registration fee and late fee. If not registered with payment made within 7 days, all registration fees, late fees, and administrative fees be assessed to the property taxes.
Any discussion?
I have none. Seems cut and dry to me.
I'll make a motion that we approve the recommendations and declare these to be rental properties, and if the payments are not made within 7 days as noted, they'd be assessed all the appropriate fees.
I'll second that.
Yes.
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 Yes. The next case is Curb-25-103, and that's for the property at 2900 Geraldine Drive.
All right. Curb-25-103, this is in regards to 2900 Geraldine Drive. The owner of record is Chrissy Brown. She has registered the property as a rental, but did not make the payment. Our initial letter was sent June 30th of 23. Second letter was sent February 9th of 24. The final mail was sent certified and standard on November 26th of 2025, giving tonight's meeting date. The final letter was sent to the owner and the tax address. We did get certified mail delivery confirmation to both addresses. We do believe it is a rental. It was registered by the owner in 2025 with no payment received. They did have some prior zoning applications. In your packet, you will see the auditor sheet. They do not have a completed Hamilton County rental registration. You will see copies of all the letters that were sent and the certified mail delivery confirmation, a screenshot from OpenGov showing that they have a past due balance. Miss Brown did call earlier today indicating that she did not plan on contesting her decision, but that right now she's not certain on whether she will continue to rent it in the future or not. She said she plans to come in next week to pay her past due balance.
Okay.
So at this time, it is still our recommendation that a payment be made within 7 days. If payment is not received, all registration fees, late fees, and administrative fees be assessed to the property taxes.
Make a motion, we upheld the staff's recommendation to declare the property rental and assess the all appropriate fees within 7 days.
I second that motion.
Ms. Baldwin,
Yes.
Ms. Ferris,
Yes.
Mr. Henson,
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer,
Yes.
Ms. Westfall.
Yes. The next case is Curb 25-104, and that's for the property at 7490 Creekview Drive.
All right. Curb case, curb dash 25-104. This property has very recently paid their past due balance. I do have one correction on the cover page. The address is incorrect. It's actually, it is on the document, it's 7490. It should be 7240 Creekview. Since the agenda was created, the owner, Joseph and Deborah Neumeister, they have paid their past due balance. So at this time, it is going to be our recommendation that the board take no action.
I move to
Just
accept-
real quick, I would like to just confirm that it's number 8 or number 9. Later in the file, it says number 9, apartment number. 7240 Creekview Drive. This one says 9, the other one says 8.
It's number 9.
Okay. Thank you.
I move to accept the staff recommendation of no action.
I second that motion.
Ms. Baldwin,
Yes.
Ms. Ferris,
Yes.
Mr. Henson,
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer,
Yes.
Ms. Westfall.
Yes. The next case is Curb 25-105. That's for the property at 2790 Burnside Drive.
All right. Curb 25-105. This property is owned by Lane Cloyd Rick. He has also reached out and paid his past due balance. So this time it'll be the staff's recommendation that the board take no action.
I move to accept the staff recommendation of no action.
Ms. Baldwin,
Yes.
Ms. Ferris,
Yes.
Mr. Henson. Yes. Mr. Schaefer,
Yes.
Ms. Westfall.
Yes. The next case is curb 25-106, and that's for the property at 2723 through 2750 Town Terrace Drive.
All right. In regards to curb dash 25-106,
That's not the right address.
what was that?
The address I read is not correct. I'm sorry. It says it's 2753.
Yeah, it's an apartment community, so there's a bunch of different addresses. The one that comes back to the main parcel group is 2753.
Okay.
The owner of this property has, very recently, he's been very great to work with, and we did receive payment for his property since the letters were mailed out. So in regards to 2753 Town Terrace and curb dash 25-106, it will be our recommendation that the board take no action. He did also pay a late fee.
I'll make a motion that we approve the staff recommendation and not take any action on this unit.
I'll
Sec-
second.
Go ahead. I second that motion.
Ms. Baldwin,
Yes.
Ms. Ferris,
Yes.
Mr. Henson. Yes. Mr. Schaefer,
Yes.
Ms. Westfall.
Yes. Our next case is curb 25-107, and that's for the property at 7050 Harrison Avenue.
All right, curb dash 25-107, 7050 Harrison Avenue. The owner of record is Tender Legal One LLC. Since the certified mail was sent out and the case was created, the owner of this property has paid his past due balance as well. So at this time, it is the staff's recommendation that the board take no action.
I move to accept the staff's updated recommendation of no action.
I'll second.
Ms. Baldwin,
Yes.
Ms. Ferris,
Yes.
Mr. Henson,
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer,
Yes.
Ms. Westfall.
Yes. Our next case is curb 25-108, and that's the property at 10873 Invicta Circle.
All right, curb dash 25-108. The owner of 10843 Invicta Circle is BBSB Holdings LLC. Since the certified mail, the final mailing was sent out, the owner has paid his past due balance. So at this time, the staff's recommendation is that the board take no action.
I make a motion to take staff's recommendations and no action.
I'll second that.
Ms. Baldwin,
Yes.
Ms. Ferris,
Yes.
Mr. Henson.
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Ms. Westfall.
Yes. Our next case is curb 25-109 and 110. Those are the properties at 2480 Clovercrest Drive and 7490 Pippin Road.
All right, curb dash 25-109 and 110 for Clovercrest and Pippin. The owner of record is PBC Capital LLC. You can reference their rental registrations at rent-25-51 for Clovercrest and rent-25-50 for 7490 Pippin Road. Our initial letters were sent out on June 30th of 2023. The second letter was sent out February 9th of 2024. The final mailing was sent in standard and certified on November 26th of 2025, giving tonight's meeting date. All mail was sent to the owner's address as reflected on the Hamilton County Auditor's website. The final mail was sent certified and standard to the owner and registered agent. The first two letters are form letters that were sent to all properties initially believed to be rentals. Certified mail has been verified to the registered agent, and we have had a little bit of email communication exchanged. In that email, the owner did acknowledge the letter of noncompliance and asked how to pay the remaining balance. As of today, payment has not been received. We do believe it is a rental. He did register the property but has not made the payment. You can see in your packet, you'll see the Hamilton County Auditor sheet with the certified mail tracking information. You'll see the next auditor sheet. Wrong way. You'll see their completed Hamilton County rental registration. The business details from the Secretary of State. Copies of the letters that we sent. You will see the certified mail delivery confirmation where it was delivered to the Cincinnati address, not the New Jersey address. There is a screenshot of the brief email exchange. I have not had a reply from my response to his email. Then you will see the screenshots from both accounts showing his past due balance for each property. So at this time, it is the staff's recommendation for a motion to declare that the following curb cases pay their remaining balance within 7 days. If not paid, all registration fees, late fees, and administrative fees be assessed to the property taxes. And that is the same for curb-25109 for 2480 Clovercrest Drive and curb-25-110 for 7490 Pippin Road.
I move that we agree with the staff recommendation to declare the properties as rental registration to be carried out with all fees and late fees and administrative fees assessed to the property within 7 days at 2480 Clovercrest Drive and 7490 Pippin Road.
I'll second that motion.
Ms. Baldwin,
Yes.
Ms. Ferris,
Yes.
Mr. Henson,
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer,
Yes.
Ms. Westfall.
Yes. Our next case is 25-111 through 25-114. Those are for properties at 3373 Deschler, 9785 Yuba, and 3388 Ainsworth.
All right. So for curb-25-111 through curb-25-114, the owner of record for all of these is Lisa Hogeback, and the only one of these that currently has an OpenGov case number is the one that she registered in 2024, which is 3373 Deschler Drive. The rest, she is not registered at all. Our initial letter was sent out June 30th of 23. The second letter was sent out February 9th of '24. The final certified letter was sent on November 26th of 2025, giving tonight's meeting date. All mail was sent to the owner's address as shown on the Hamilton County Auditor's website. The final mail was sent certified and standard to the owner address, the tax address, and addresses provided through the incomplete registration. Certified mail is being returned to sender. The first two letters were form letters that were sent to all properties initially believed to be rentals, and I have not been able to confirm a successful delivery of any of the certified mail. Following the mailing, I did receive an email from the owner stating she was having trouble registering. I sent her the link, and she has since registered all the properties and indicated that she will make a payment, but has not yet done so. One property was registered by the owner in '24 with no payment received. There has been communication through the portal that'll indicate that a payment would be made. They did fail to register all properties in 2024 or 2025. There is a completed Hamilton County rental registration. The owner's address does differ from the property address, and there's multiple properties owned by the same owner. In your packet, you will see the auditor sheet for each property, along with the certified mail tracking. For completed Hamilton County Auditor rental registration form, copies of the letters that we sent. You'll see the certified mail tracking information, and then some of the email communication, and then some of the OpenGov communication. Some of that's from 2024. I believe all that's from 2024, from when she initially registered. And then you will see where the payment is due for her '24 registration. And then our staff recommendation. At this time, I have two recommendations. The first one is just going to be for curb dash 25-111 for 3373 Deschler. This is the one that was registered in '24 but not paid. So our recommendation is that the property pay the past due balance from 2024 and late fee within 7 days. If not paid within 7 days, all registration fees, late fees, and administrative fees be assessed to the property taxes. That's the recommendation just for that one. For cases 112 through 114, my recommendation is a motion to declare that the following curb cases are in fact rental properties and will be viewed as such. We recommend all cases below be registered within 7 days. If not registered, each case and property be assessed all registration fees, late fees, and administrative fees. And that is for curb dash 25-112. I believe there's a typo with an extra 1 there. And curb dash 25-113 and curb dash 25-114.
I move that we agree with the staff recommendation on curb 25-111 at 3373 Deschler Drive to pay all past fees and assess registration late fees and administrative fees if not paid within 7 days. And also to declare curb 25-112 at 3373 Deschler Drive curb 25-113 at 9785 Huba Court, and curb 25-114 at 3388 Ainsworth Court to be declared as rental property and fees assessed for those properties.
I second that motion.
Ms. Baldwin,
Yes.
Ms. Ferris,
Yes.
Mr. Henson,
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer,
Yes.
Ms. Westfall.
Yes. Our next cases are curb 25-115 and through curb -25-120. These properties are at 2901 Banning Road, 9260 Round Top Road, 2901 Banning Road. One's for 24, or the first two are for 24, now we're into 25. And 9260 Round Top for 25. 3231 Sovereign Road.
Right. In regard to curb -25-115 through curb -25-120, as of this morning, the owner has made all past due payments, made all his current payments and corrections, and is in compliance. So at this time, it would be the staff's recommendation, this is updated from what's on the sheet, but it would be the staff's recommendation that the board take no action on curb -25-115 through curb -25-120.
I'll make a motion that we agree with the staff's recommendation that curbs 25-115 through 25-120 have no further action taken.
I'll second that.
Ms. Baldwin,
Yes.
Ms. Ferris,
Yes.
Mr. Henson,
Absolutely.
Mr. Schaefer,
Yes.
Ms. Westfall.
Yes.
This is a question for Brody. Since that differs then from our actual staff recommendation, from the paperwork to the actually what we're saying here, do we need to update this paperwork for when it's put out through the minutes and for anybody that would want to see it later?
To the extent that I don't think you would incorporate the entire staff packet into the minutes. Maybe you do. I think so long as the minutes reflect what the actual recommendation was of staff, which I think was here, was no further action, that's totally fine. I don't feel like you need to update the staff packet or agenda or anything like that, just because you're not even really required to, like, by law to have those. So I think you're totally fine to leave it as is, as long as the minutes reflect what the actual staff recommendation was that was taken.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, new business for vacant properties, curb 25-121 for the property at 7905 Colerain Avenue.
All right. So this property, curb -25-121 for 7905 Colerain Avenue. This property is believed to be vacant. The owner of record is Colerain 7905 LLC. The registered agent is Lou Anevsky. You can reference OpenGov case number VCNT-25-19. My initial letter was sent on 8/11 of 25. The second letter was sent 10/1 of 25, and the final letter was sent certified in standard mail on November 25th of 2025, giving tonight's meeting date. All mail was sent to the owner's address as reflected on the Hamilton County Auditor's website and the registered agent as reflected on the Ohio Secretary of State's website. The final mail was sent certified and standard. I have not been able to confirm delivery, and it has not been returned to sender either. This property was first reported vacant on June 25th by one of our other code enforcement officers. At the time, he was investigating a trash complaint that ended up resulting in an abatement. There was also a tall grass complaint at that time. This vacant process was started with the first letter on 8/11 of 25. At the time, the prior business was closed and there were items throughout the property. There were no signs of activity or communication from the owner. The property, like I said, was also cited for tall grass. As a unit, we've seen virtually no activity at this property. I did meet with one of Mr. Anevsky's associates at the property. She did state that they have a signed lease. However, we've yet to see any activity, and the initial NOV from either the tall grass or the trash complaint, which I believe was in June, is still on the front door. Mr. Anevsky did come in to the PD this week and talk to Lieutenant Penley. He did say again that they do have a signed lease and they're waiting on some documents to come through. That's the same story that his associate told me several months ago. He did give Lieutenant Penley, I believe, a contact for the person that is going to be leasing it. They have stated that the property is being used as an office by that tenant. At this time, an office is not an approved use for that building. So that's why we've maintained, our opinion that it is vacant. Mr. Anevsky also told Lieutenant Penley that he would not be able to attend tonight's meeting, but that he's out of town, but that he could come to our next meeting if the board wanted to postpone their decision.
That's correct. He was given the January 21st date, told to that if you guys, it would be put to you to either continue it to that date or your findings. But long story short is the person that's renting this is using it as business or office space. He plans to be opening a bar slash wings and ribs type sit down place inside. He's waiting for his liquor permit. He has not received his liquor permit. He said that it's supposed to be in the mail. It could be 30 days to 60 days until he gets that. So he would like to postpone coming in here for the next 30 days and then come before the board next month. I told him I would ask and that normally you guys don't mind working with people, but he confirmed that he was leaving to go out of town today and would not be able to come to the meeting.
So when I did go by the property earlier today, it does look like they have cleaned up a little bit out back. Our NOV from roughly 6 months ago is still on the front door. The vacant registration is for 6 months, and he was given, we're essentially 4 months from the first letter. So it is entirely up to the board. But I do think it would be beneficial for Mr. Anevsky to come in and speak with us. In your packet, since we didn't go through it, you will see the auditor sheet, the certified mail tracking, the Secretary of State sheet showing that Mr. Anevsky is the registered agent. You will see copies of the letters that were sent to him. And you will see where there was an attempted delivery, but no confirmation on the certified mail. You will see some of the pictures from the time the NOV was posted. And then in your packet, there are pictures from earlier this afternoon, just showing its current condition.
Any discussion?
Nope.
Okay, I have a question for our legal department. Probably 25 years ago, I did some structural design on a property that Mr. Anevsky owned. Small project. Should I recuse myself, or is it proper to go ahead and vote?
Yeah, great question. Really thoughtful and appreciate you asking. I think 25 years is probably far enough along that you haven't, if you haven't been paid by him in 25 years, you're probably safe. So I think you're good. If you'd like to recuse, I think you could, but I don't think it presents any sort of conflict or anything like that. But
Okay, thank you.
Well, I'll make a motion that we accept staff's recommendation to give them the benefit of the doubt and postpone until January 21st. Right?
That's the next
Okay.
meeting.
This has been a long-standing restaurant, the Wedge Inn in Groesbeck, for as long as I can remember. And I think if we can keep a business in that spot, it may be beneficial to the township. So,
I second that motion.
Ms. Baldwin,
Yes.
Ms. Ferris,
Yes.
Mr. Henson,
yes.
Mr. Schaefer,
Yes,
Ms. Westfall.
Yes. Our next case is Curb 25-90, and that is old business at the 3066 Compton Road.
All right, curb dash 25-90 for 3066 Compton Road. Just a quick refresher. The gentleman that owns this property was in at our last meeting, and I believe he was in for it being a rental not registered. At the time, it was actually vacant, and they were trying to decide what they wanted to do with it. Since the last meeting, he has registered as a rental, paid the fee, the property is in compliance. And I do believe they already have a tenant in there. So as far as we're concerned, everything's good to go there. So at this time, our recommendation would be that the board take no action.
Okay.
I move to accept the staff recommendation of no action.
A second,
Ms. Baldwin,
Yes.
Ms. Ferris,
Yes.
Mr. Henson,
yes.
Mr. Schaefer,
yes.
Ms. Westfall.
Yes. Okay, new business administrative, year-end case update.
All right, so I believe at our last case update, we left off talking about curb dash 25-73 in regards to 9315 Jericho. The board did recommend that one to the trustees. They did approve. Since then, case 74, the owner registered. Case 75 for Statewood, the owner registered. 76 for Crosley Farm, the owner registered. 77 was in regards to a rental property for 8198 Vegas Drive. That one the board did make a recommendation that was passed along to the trustees. They approved that at their November meeting with resolution 139-25. 78 for rental registration on 8267 Springleaf Lake Drive. The owner registered. Case 79, 10744 Invicta Circle. The owner registered. Case 25-80 for rental registration, 5966 Blue Rock Road. The board did recommend that go to the trustees as a rental. They approved that at their November meeting with Resolution 138-25. Case 81 for 2610 West Galbraith Road is a rental. The owner registered. Case 82 for rental registration at 8887 Planet Drive. The board did recommend that go to the trustees. It was approved at their November meeting with Resolution 141-25. Case 83, 8228 Georgiana Drive for rental registration. The board did recommend that to the trustees, and they approved it at their November meeting with Resolution 140-25. 84 for 8670 Pippin Road, the owner registered as a rental. 85, 4630 Pool Road, the owner registered as a rental. Case 86 was our 2026 schedule. The board confirmed that. Case 87, 7429 Bowling Drive, the owner registered. Case 88, 3539 Redskin Drive, the owner registered. Case 89, 8269, the owner registered. Case 25-90, the board just took no action as the owner registered. Case 91, 2928 Royal Glen Drive, the owner registered. Those were all rentals. And then case 25-92 for 11322 Templeton Drive as a rental. The board recommended that to the trustees. It was approved at their December meeting with Resolution 155-25. 93 at 10377 Pippin Lane, the owner did register. 94 for 2491 Winning Road, the owner did register. For 95 at 2389 Golf Drive, the owner did register. For 25-96, 8582 Sunlight Drive, the owner did register. For case 25-97, 42885 Kingman Drive, the board did recommend that to the trustees, and they confirmed that at their December meeting with Resolution 154-25. Case 98, 9965 Capstan Drive, the owner did register that one. Case 99, 2401 Capstan Drive, the owner did register. Case 100, 3312 West Galbraith Road, the owner did register. And that brings us up through the start of tonight's meeting.
I got a question.
Yes.
You said that the 98 and 99, said 98 was 9965 Capstan Drive?
Maybe.
Okay, and and curb 2599, in the minutes that we read tonight, or approved tonight, it says 2401 Impala Drive.
It is Impala. We changed it at the meeting.
Yes, we did. I did not change it on my tracking sheet. Good catch.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're gonna discuss the updates.
Yeah, we really just want to know if you guys have had a chance to kind of look over them, if you have any questions, just kind of any commentary that you guys want to offer, or, drill this guy with questions.
Okay, last month, I brought up on the third paragraph, it says, SERB shall review complaints. And on the fourth line, it says, SERB shall have primary responsibility for reviewing, interpreting, enforcing the provisions. I had a or I disagree with the word primary responsibility. We have no authority to enforce anything. I mean, all we do is rule on the staff's recommendations.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. And I thought Carly had mentioned that when I chatted with her about discussion last meeting, and that it's certainly something we're going to kind of soften, change, certainly pull out the enforcement side of it. 'Cause I mean, yeah, I think you're right that you guys are here adopting staff recommendations, giving your guys' thoughts and approval on that, but really any kind of enforcement, right, is going to be either township staff or the trustees. So totally understand that. I think the reason it wasn't changed for tonight, candidly, is we didn't know if there's going to be other comments from the board, and just kind of for efficiency purposes, just kind of wanted to gather all those thoughts. But yeah, I have that enforcing circled and knew that coming in, if that was something that you had previously raised. So thank you.
Okay. But it also says interpreting, well, and it's primary responsibility, and, certainly not enforcing. I'm not sure
We're here to
we're
advise.
interpreting any of the laws. It seems like that's what courts do.
Sure, and that is what courts do. I think here, we've got two resolutions by the township fees that kind of dictate, hey, here's the vacant foreclosed property registration and also the rental property registration. I know there might be, staff and the trustees had some additional discussion about on the nuisance things as well, so there may be some expanded authority at some point, not yet. But I think the intent of the language, and we can certainly modify this, is that you're right, you're not necessarily legally or judicially interpreting it, but I think these are guidelines for you all to work off of, and that's really kind of the intent of that language. But candidly, too, to your point, is we don't have authority or have real enforcement authority. I don't think we're trying to give that to you or even bestowing that upon you. So we can certainly modify kind of the language there, that you guys are really here in an advisory role. And I think that's made kind of throughout, but we can clarify that sentence there to make sure it's not putting on you guys additional authority that you candidly probably don't have. So.
Right, I mean, because
And let me interrupt real quick. I do believe there was a resolution that was approved by the Board of Trustees in regards to curb, where it has expanded your abilities and the cases that you will be able to review. And part of that is if it gets brought here, you may be giving your opinion on the case. A lot of those recommendations may seek the board's direction. So that's where you may look at our property maintenance code and where we cited them for this issue, and that recommendation may not be a recommendation that's made to the Board of Trustees, but it could be made to, somebody from our unit that is enforcing, that property maintenance code
So going
or
back to staff.
nuisance. So with that expanded, ability, not all recommendations are going to be made to the Board of Trustees. It could be made to us. It could be, let's, the next, we're hoping to get kind of a workflow put together for different cases. And your recommendation may be, let's give them some more time. It may be, let's go ahead and move this forward with, Hamilton County Housing Court, So that's where I think your, authority will be kind of helping direct where the next step of that process is. If that makes sense.
okay, but I still see us as strictly advisory.
Yes.
I mean, we won't, we might advise or recommend the staff to, cite someone or whatever action they may take, or we might say, no, we don't recommend, but I don't think you're bound by our recommendations, but it does give citizens a way to appeal, and we would rule on that, and you and the trustees have the option to do what you want anyway.
Yeah, I think that point's right. So certainly can, adjust the language in here. Again, I think it does talk about being kind of your role as advisory in nature, not trying to, again, give you authority we candidly can't give you. But I think, to Nick's point, you guys do, this is really, I'm telling you guys things you already know, right? You know more about this than I do, but this is really just another layer of due process that we want to give residents of, hey, we want you to comply, and if there's a extenuating circumstance or there's a reason or something, we're here to listen, and we want to hear that and, engage with you. So, but we certainly can make that sentence a little cleaner and clearer for you all, so.
If we go back to where I read every meeting, the description of the meeting, where it says issue recommendations regarding these issues to the Board of Trustees,
I think it's a great spot.
we could add
I like
something to staff.
Yep.
And soften it better that way,
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
okay?
I have go ahead.
Go ahead.
I have a question on something else. Is yours relative to?
Well, the only thing I was going to say is maybe a better word for interpreting would be evaluate.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that it meets all the criteria for making an assessment on what we should do.
Yeah. Good choice.
And I think that's the important part about, if you look at the other thing you have there is the curb appeal packet. It's something new that we're going to try, where once citizens they get their letter, they can actually request an appeal instead of us telling them they have to come here. They can now appeal things to you as the curb board. Again, like Brody said, it's another step of due process. We want to give the citizens of Colerain Township every chance they can to either correct the blighted property and or request more time. So the appeal packet is something we created so they can actually fill out, and they can request to come in front of you as the person that's interpreting and evaluating their property. So just to kind of go and piggyback on what you're talking about, I wanted you guys to be able to look at that and have any questions about that too.
Okay, the other question I had is, if someone registers their rental property or vacant property and pays the fee, do you have any way to follow up and say, well, your 6 months will be due up, your 6 months for the vacant property is up, February 1st, so that they know they have to make another payment? In the same way the annual payment for the rentals?
Yeah, I'm going to defer to Nick or Jamie.
So in regards to, let's just focus on the vacants first. In our system, OpenGov, we use it for, basically all complaints, all registrations. One of the final workflow step of every vacant registration, whether it's a vacant building maintenance license or a vacant or foreclosing property, regardless of the record type for vacants, the final workflow step gets scheduled at the time that I approve their application. That step is scheduled 6 months out from the date their application was submitted. So at that point, I do get a reminder, I get a task that I have to complete that we follow up with. Majority of the ones that don't come before the board renew pretty well on their own, or, if it's like a management company, they will send proof that the property no longer qualifies. That is typically a letter. Sometimes it's, showing that the property's transferred ownership, or that, it's sold at a sheriff's sale. But that is tracked through OpenGov. And then, I do maintain a spreadsheet that shows when everything expires as well. Stuff that goes in front of the board, we still need to continue to develop our process for that. But stuff that does get registered, as far as vacants go, does get tracked and typically renewed and is not an issue. As far as the rentals, we will be getting ready to send out a renewal email. We start with email because it is very cost effective. And then typically somewhere January, February, we will send out a letter to everybody that has not registered, reminding them that they have to register. And then after that, we kind of start taking it case by case. And if they aren't registered after March 1st, those will be ones that we'll start bringing in front of the board.
Yeah. And the email usually nets about 40%, wouldn't you say? 40% of the people jump right on and start to register just from the email?
Normally by the end of January, at least 40% have registered, and at that point, some of the bigger corporate entities are working on their registrations, and I think by March we were probably at 80+% registered from the year prior.
The first year we did this, we were going to be ecstatic if we got 40%, and now that's just our starting point, which is just I commend you guys for being here every week and helping us out with that. So we have done really well this year with locating properties from 24 and 25 that failed to register and making them, identifying them, and also just identifying them has started the process of fixing those properties up. Whole neighborhoods are changing. If you drive around like we do, you see the difference in the neighborhoods just by what you guys are doing on this board. So I commend you and thank you for all your work this year and last.
So I think this year we completed right around 1,900 rental inspections, plus or minus. Probably 15% of those did fail and have corrected issues. So it's been very worthwhile. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
I'll just say that once we update the new guidelines, we'll get it out to you before the next meeting. So if there are any typos or anything that you guys want to tweak or don't like, let us know prior to, and we'll get those changed before you guys vote on it before the next beginning of the next meeting.
Okay, our next meeting will be held on January 21st at 6 p.m. I'd like to thank my fellow commissioners, staff, and all present tonight. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Ms. Baldwin,
Yes.
Ms. Ferris,
Yes.
Mr. Henson,
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer,
Yes.
and Ms. Westfall.
Yes, we're adjourned at 7:03.